Okay, so this is a little tutorial video to create this Tunisian simple stitch mitered corner on my Rue Hattan blanket pattern. This was one I made earlier, so this is what we're going to be doing. So what I've done is I've worked up to my next corner, and the next row I'm going to do is going to be a simple stitch all the way across. The border's been in moss stitch so far, but we're going to do simple stitch all the way across, and my joining stitch will join into the very corner of the blanket. So we have simple stitch all the way across. So that's 4 simple stitches, and then my end stitch, this corner is the one I very first started with, so it's not the neatest corner, but I'm going to go into the corner there to join. So see, and then we're going to do a return pass through 2 all the way along. Now we're going to start decreasing, so we're not going to work right up to the edge and join again. We're just going to work 4 simple stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do return pass and go straight through 2. And then next row we do simple stitch 1, 2, 3, because we've already decreased this one here, and again through 2 all the way back. Now we've only got 2 simple stitches to do. And return pass, and now we just left with that very first one, simple stitch and return pass. So this is what we have. We've made like a little triangle of simple stitch. Now to turn the corner we need to chain 2, and then we're going to go, this is where it gets a bit fiddly, but we're going to go into, so you've got your chain 2, you've got your end stitch, and we want to go into this simple stitch here, which would normally be your first one of the row. And then we go into the very next one. So normally I would be going for this orange one down here, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go in the one that sits between them and pick up a loop there. And then I'm going to go in to that orange one. Right? And then you return pass again. And now you might find it a bit easier to start sort of turning the work a little bit, because you'll see we've turned the corner already, and you've got that's now your first stitch of the row, your first simple stitch. So we're going to go into that one. We're going to go into this one. That was the last one of your previous row, and then we're going to go into the one in between that and the one below that. So we've gone, that was the first stitch. That was going into the third simple stitch, the sort of third stitch, the proper simple stitch of the previous row. Then we've gone into the gap between them again, and then we've picked up that column there. And we do return pass again. And then the same thing. So we go 1, 2, 3. And now this time we are going into this one here. This one here. The sort of taupe coloured one on my yarn. And then that light turquoise one there, which is your proper simple stitch bar. And we go back again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so now you can see we've got back to, if I flick this up a little bit, we've got back to our edge stitch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, which will be worked in moss stitch again when we get to that bit. And so my next row is where I'm going to want to join back into the corner again. So we do, and we've basically completed our mitered corner at that point. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4 simple stitches. And then I'm going to go back into the corner in the same place as I did when we started the corner, pick up a loop and do my return pass. And now you can see, hopefully, we have this mitered corner. And you can kind of see how the you can see where the vertical bars of the simple stitch meet at right angles where we've picked up. I do have a few little gaps in here from where I've picked up in that the stitches in between. I guess that might vary a little bit depending on what yarn you're using, but I think overall it's not very noticeable. So that's completed the mitered corner. So on the next one, on the next row, I'm going to re-establish my moss stitch pattern. So 1 simple, 1 purl, 1 simple, 1 purl. And then I'm going to pick up in the next. So I'm actually going to pick up through the back loop of this first stitch that comes off the corner, which, as I say, this was my starting corner, so it's not very tidy. I'm going to pick up through the back loop and then also the back bump, which you can just see there at the tip of my hook. So I tend to find I have to catch that with my nail a little bit to get the hook in, but you can see there I've got the hook going under 2 bars of that stitch, which is the back loop and the back bump, which is in the joining instructions. So then we do our return pass, and then the second row of the moss stitch repeat, which is purl 1, simple 1, purl 1, simple 1, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch of the row, which is this one. So again, through the back loop, which is a bit fiddly, and the back bump, and return pass. And that's it. That's your mitered corner. And then you just carry on with the moss stitch as established for the rest of the next edge, and then do exactly the same thing for the next corner.